It's Leilani from Living with Eve. It's an interesting evening because I was going to have a special guest here tonight to do a live, and she had told me a couple days earlier that something came up. Totally, it's all on me. I forgot to turn off the live and all the things. So I don't have a special guest, but I still wanted to come on here because I said I was going to do it. It popped up on the YouTube feed and talking about how to avoid being influenced and convicted to homeschool differently. Um, I did watch her video that she put out, so you are welcome to go. I'll come back and put a link. Also, you know what I could do? I could answer questions because I know we are getting to the end of the year. And I know that there are a lot of questions that are coming up. And I believe if you write a question, I can see it in the chat section. Yes, it should come up. I'm also using Restream, which is like a different third-party streaming service, so it's very different for me. But if you do have a question, I just throw this out there, like any general question that you have for me about homeschooling, about homeschooling special needs, about portfolios, about that's specific to Florida as well, which I found out I can also do Colorado as well as Washington State and North Carolina. I believe I can do those too. If you have any questions about those evaluations, anything like that, just let me know in the comment section and I'll answer them as I go. But I did want to kind of speak into this idea of being influenced, and this is kind of on the fly, so I don't get to edit this out for you when I go back. But conventions are coming up, and also there is a lot. Hello, love, pray, and sign. There is a lot of just in the YouTube world. Okay. I've been doing YouTube now for, I believe, 6 years, maybe 7. And I do network with a lot of other YouTubers. And we all know that right after spring break hits, everybody is going to start looking for homeschool curriculum, and all of the companies are going to start reaching out to us to do affiliate stuff. And it's like this, just it's a business, and all of them are going to be telling you that their curriculum is the best. Now, there's a lot of influencers out there that are sincere about, look, I love his curriculum. They work great for me. There are a lot of newer I shouldn't say newer. There's a lot of newer influencers that are, very honest and open and sincere about what they like and what they don't like. But there are people out there on YouTube that just, whoever pays them the most is the one that we're going to give more to, more airtime to, whether we do flip, like, because these companies, they will send you curriculum for free if you just do a review on your channel, and they will pay you too. And so a lot of you guys may not know this. And I think especially for the new homeschoolers that step on board and they start, because a lot of people just like go straight to YouTube, right? Because that's the easiest thing to do. Just go straight to YouTube and start, Googling best homeschool science curriculum, and you're just going to get a slew of things that come up. You're going to get the most watched videos. You're also going to get like the newest videos that come up, and you have to. It's really overwhelming, but you also have to remember that a lot of these people are getting paid. A lot of these people are getting free curriculum. Some are being honest, some are not. And it, regardless of what it is, it gets extremely overwhelming. And that is the honest truth. I've already started getting affiliate brand companies reaching out to me. I get every single day, I get 3 or 4 different companies reaching out to me. And some I bite, most of them I just kind of delete because they have nothing to do with my channel. Like I got one for like a vacuum today, for example. So, I did decide to affiliate, but I don't even know if I'm going to like actually promote it for this vitamin company. But see, like you get random ones, but the homeschool ones are going to start trickling in. And I'm telling you all of this information because as you, the viewer, watching these things on YouTube, you're going to come across those things and you want to be able to decide what works and doesn't work for you and how to kind of weed through all of those things. And I think for me, the best advice that I could give you is to take your time and to really pray. Take your time, pray. And I'm going to get to that question. I just saw it pop up. Pray about it and really you do want to keep looking through curriculum because you're going to find curriculum that you love. And the next year, you're going to be like, I don't like this one anymore. I want to try a new one. But take your time, find the influencers that you trust if you want to go down that route. Also, really get to know the company itself. I'm a big fan of getting to know the actual people who run the company, seeing if their morals and their standards are similar to mine, because I don't want to. I mean, literally, the curriculum that you purchase for your kids, yes, we're homeschooling our kids, but in a sense, the curriculum that you're giving your kids, they're teaching your children. So you have to kind of remember who's teaching my kid? Yes, you are the parent doing the teaching, but they're supplying the information and the knowledge. So you want to get to know who the curriculum writers are and the company in general. Are they an honest company? There are some companies out there that just through the years that I've seen are very actually corrupt, and they're doing homeschool curriculum. There are some companies out there that they're all about the money. They're all about you start to see those like down the road. Like I've been actually within, so when I was a public school teacher, I mean, that's just corrupt anyway. But and it is like you guys don't even know unless you've been a public school teacher. Um, but when I left that public school arena, I actually, before I started homeschooling my kids, I did like a half and half thing where I worked half for private school and then half for a homeschool co-op. And I started getting really familiar with how these homeschool companies kind of work. And then after a while, I started homeschooling. So it's been like over 10 years that I've gotten to know some of these um, companies. So, get to know the company and get to know their morals, and just keep your ears and eyes open, and just really kind of keep an open mind, be willing to change if you need to. And also what's works best for your kid, because a lot of times we'll find a curriculum that we think is perfect for us, but it's not perfect for your kid. And so really, like, the person that you need to listen to the most, obviously the Lord, but the person you really need to listen to the most is your kids and how they respond to the curriculum. And so when I started, one of the things that I did early on is I would take my children to the homeschool conventions, which that's really fun to do. It's super overwhelming, but really fun to do. And now it's kind of cool because I'm going to be like on the opposite side of things, like the Florida Homeschool Convention. The FPEA, I'm actually going this year as a volunteer, which I'm so like super excited to do this. And yeah, like really excited. So so I will be there at the FPEA, and more than likely what I'm going to end up doing if I'm off, because I'll be doing FPA stuff in the background. I don't know why I'm telling you all this. Then I'll probably, it's really crazy this year because the people that are running the booths, like I know them. Like I legit know that. It's crazy. So I really feel like what I'm going to end up doing is going to see the talks of my friends, and like then helping them at the booth. And I'll be straight up with you guys, the only reason I don't have a talk or anything at FPA, one is because I feel like I'm just not, I don't know why I don't feel like I'm ready. I don't know. I would love to. I know when the FBA was going to do the special needs convention, which didn't happen because they didn't get enough people signed up. I was actually going to do 3 talks there, but that one kind of fell through. But the big one in Florida, which is actually, guys, bigger than Teach Them Diligently and bigger than that other one. Oh, what's that one that you guys know? It's one of the biggest ones. The FBA is one of the biggest ones. But the booths are like really expensive, and I don't have that much to sell. I have my book, and then I have those packets that I've been doing for preschool. I don't know why I'm telling you this. I'm on a ramble. So anyway, the point is go to the commissions. That was the point of like all of that. They're really fun. And yeah, you get to know the people is what happens. You get to meet the authors, you get to talk to them, you get to listen to them talk and see if they click with you. Because when you meet, you can see somebody online all you want, but like when you actually meet them and converse with them, it's like, okay, I get it. I get like, and it's funny because I'm going to lead right into this question that has popped up on my screen. Which there's a lot of newbies coming on board too. I have to point that out because there's some stuff she's mentioning in the comment section. I don't know what winning with writing is, to be honest. That's a new one. But like for me, I click with Andrew Pudewa. Like I do. Like I consider, I don't know, Andrew Pudewa is one of those people that you like meet and you're best friends. Like that's just his personality in general. And so I feel like when I met him and then I was on his podcast, it was like he remembered me. It was the weirdest thing. So I clicked. That's what I'm trying to say. I clicked with Andrew Pudawa, and we did have like a little bit of an exchange, realizing how similar our personalities are, which I'm like, good. I'm using your stuff. It works for me. And it works for my kids too. My kids like fangirl over IW. But this leads me to the comment section. And I'll come back. If there's no more questions, I'll kind of come back and talk a little bit more about the avoiding to be influenced. But this person says, I know that you love IEW structure and style, but it hasn't been a good fit for my daughter, which I get that. Okay. That happens. And I'm not going to say, oh man, you didn't do it. No, that's not my attitude. There's curriculum that works for us and that doesn't work for us. And just because it works for me doesn't mean it's going to work for you. And that's totally good. But she loves Fix It Grammar, which is also through IAW. I think that's what you're trying to say, because you said Fix It Grammar, sorry. But then you said writing with grammar, which I think is winning with writing. I have not heard of winning with writing. That I don't know. Like I said, this is what there's so much curriculum out there. So the writing curriculum, I do love IEW structure and style. Have I used other curriculum? Yes, I have. I've used writing and rhetoric. So IEW and writing and rhetoric, both of those, Memorial Press, I believe, is the writing and rhetoric, if I'm not mistaken. That one is classical, but I don't know winning with writing, and I'm gonna have to look that up. I didn't know, Emily, were you still looking for other curriculum for writing? I mean, if you want to go the classical route, writing and rhetoric is good. There's some other high school stuff. I mean, you can always look at BJU. You can always look at Abeka if you wanted to go more the traditional. Abeka is really, really traditional. And a lot of people jump right on board as a homeschooler right into Abeka. Okay. I guess the question, because Emily said yes, I should probably fill you in on what I'm reading in real time. Emily said yes, that she would be interested in looking for more writing curriculum. If you're interested in writing now my question, did you say what grade she was in? You didn't say what grade she's in. Okay. And I'm guessing this is either elementary or middle school, because you're still using Fix It Grammar. I'm sure she'll answer in a second. But, like Abeka BJU and Christian Liberty Press, those are all traditional. I do take consultations for California. Because it depends what you're looking for. When it comes to the laws in California, I don't know. I mean, I know because I have a friend in California. I have a couple of friends in California that are homeschooled, and I can kind of reach out to them, and then I could just read it. But when it comes to the curriculum itself, and looking for what fits you, I can do, consultations. That's more kind of your preference if you want to do that. But I guess I need to know her age. I need to know her level. I need to know the style that you're looking for, and what are your goals with writing, to really kind of give you some good direction. Trying to think. I've heard some people talk about The Good and the Beautiful, saying that their writing curriculum is really good. There's another one that there's a couple of online groups if you wanted to go in that direction. Okay, presently we are going through the different types of writing and simply learning and editing together. We did a book report and a letter so far. Have you looked at Well Trained Mind? That's another. I think they have writing. I know they have grammar, but they have writing. The grammar is really intense because it's got diagramming. Much more intense than Fix It Grammar, but I feel like Fix It Grammar really kind of covers all the different grammar plus all that other stuff. Okay, 7th grade. So 7th grade, also, have you looked at Evan Moore? That's another one. Some people like to pull from Evan Moore, but I will say Evan Moore, in general, I guess it really depends on their level. But Evan Moore, like their 7th grade level, is more like a 6th grade level. That's just my opinion from what I've seen with Evan Moore. So if you have a 7th grader, you want to do 8th grade Evan Moore stuff. But Evan Moore only goes up to 8th grade. I'm trying to think of another one. I'm like drawing a blank. There's this one that I can't think of that's really, really popular. It was for a long time. If anybody can think of it, please like type it in the comment section down below. But below, let me use English. But it was compatible, like it was comparable. It was almost like the people that didn't like IEW went to this curriculum. And I don't have my phone upstairs with me, so I can't really look it up right now. When I think about it, I will try to come back and write it in the comments. So I don't know if that helped. Did that help? Does anybody else have any questions? It's kind of like got a little bit of a delay because I'm going through a third-party stream and my phone's downstairs charging because I didn't charge it today. Before I walked up here, my phone was on 4%. And I was like, no, I can't use my phone. And I don't have a charger in my office, which I probably should have a charger in my office. Anyway, essentials in writing. Yes, that's the one that I was thinking of. Thank you. Essentials in writing. That was the one. That is the one that people who don't like IEW, they try essentials in writing and they love it. Like it's almost, I don't know what it is about that program that they like it. I know that at our homeschool co-op, so it's funny how like different communities. So IEW for the longest time at our homeschool co-op was like the curriculum to have and do. But parents started, there was like this small little bit of, oh, we want to really try something different. It's too hard. We don't really like it. And so the teacher that was teaching IEW, she actually, not through peer pressure, not through anything, she just had to leave. And then another person stepped up and she went to essentials in writing. And then everyone's like, oh, we really like that. We really like that. But now actually we have a new writing teacher and I don't know what she uses, but they really liked essentials. Good. I'm so glad. Okay. I hope this was helpful. Just go to their website and look at it. So, I don't know, just once again, if you guys have any questions, she said, by the way, that she didn't have any more questions and, no, we will look at it. Thank you. Okay. I feel like I'm talking a mile a minute. I did have a little bit of caffeine before I came upstairs, but, okay. So, here we just talked about curriculum and, so this is like another way that you can avoid being influenced is really start asking questions with seasoned homeschoolers. I don't really want to call myself seasoned, but I think I'm in that category now. I don't know what the criteria is for seasoned, but I think I'm there. I haven't graduated a kid yet. I'm almost there. But when you start asking these questions, you start to see, okay, pick their brain, tell me the truth about this, tell me the truth about this. And at that point, like, we just don't even care anymore. We're like, we're just going to tell it like it is. We're not here to promote anybody. I mean, as an influencers, it's a different category. But when you talk to like those seasoned homeschoolers in your neighborhood, and I have to be really neutral too, because of the consultations that I do and because of the evaluations that I do, I have to be neutral, because the families in Florida, when we do evaluations, it's almost like I have to understand all the different curriculum and appreciate all of them. Whatever the parent says, I have to go with him and say, yes, that's perfect. Is your child learning something? Great. That's perfect for your family. I'm so glad. But if you're like, oh, I have a problem with this, can you help me with this? Then we kind of shift through, because I've actually recommended curriculum that I thought worked for kids that I didn't necessarily like. And I've done that before because I didn't like it for me and I didn't like it for my family. But anyway, okay. So there are some more questions. I'm trying to find something similar to BJU Press. Got it. For language arts for my upcoming 5th grader that's more budget friendly, because Becca's not. That was the first thing that came to mind. We really love BJU, but it seems like too much when you do all the parts. Their reading program. Did you try looking for it used? That's another thing that you can do. And if you're in Florida, that's the big one. If you're in Florida, they have the PEP scholarship, and the PEP scholarship will cover it. And that's a whole nother conversation for Floridians. Um, which I always like to say, if you're not in Florida, you need to pay attention to what's happening in Florida, because we are almost like, I think we are. Arizona was the other state, I believe. And I don't know if there's any other states. You're in Tennessee. Okay. But Florida has a scholarship. You know who else has a scholarship since you're in Tennessee? The HSLDA. You can actually, there's scholarships that you can get to help cover your costs. Okay. But that doesn't help you right now. So BJU Press, there's Christian Liberty Press. There is, my brain just went. I can see it in my head. It's coming clear. It's yeah, but I don't know. Their method is a little bit different. It's not traditional. It's the sister company, Sunlight, but they're more based on reading. But there's Christian Liberty Press. That's the first thing that comes to mind, because I think you can get stuff like with them very affordable. Becca's too expensive. Finding stuff used. Or sometimes I would say just any, because BJU's traditional, but they're Christian. And the only BJU, Christian Memorial Press, and Becca are like the big ones that are traditional based. And Sunlight but that one's going to be expensive. Sunlight's going to be expensive. Private schools don't use Sunlight. Those are expensive. So maybe look at Christian Liberty Press. That may help. I hope that helps. The reading, and look for used books, and look into the HSLDA scholarship. I hope that helps. It's so hard. There should be a way. I'm so funny. I would be like, hey, come on into my channel, and like have your face pop up on my screen. But I don't know how to do that. And then I don't know if you guys would want to do it, because I like to look at faces and facial responses to see if you guys understood what I was saying, or if I satisfied your question. So thank you, Works. I'm assuming if you don't have questions, you would write something else if you have more questions. Okay. So, okay. How to avoid being influenced. We are moving to Emily. Emily says that she's moving to Florida. Why are you guys all coming to Florida? I'm just joking. The traffic in my city has like doubled in the last 5 years. Like, I'm noticing it now, and I'm like, no, but not really. I get it. There's more homeless people too in my city, and I've noticed that as well. But good. Sorry, Kimberly commented. I appreciate it. We'll look into that one. You guys keep coming to Florida. You're like, I don't know where you're moving to Florida, but I can tell you, like, the Tampa, Hillsborough County area, Pasco, Pinellas. So like that whole, where the St. Pete, Pinellas, Clearwater, Largo, like that whole area, like it's really big, actually. It's Hillsborough County, and it's Pasco, and it's Pinellas County. It's those 3 counties. And we are the largest growing homeschool community in the nation, probably. From what I'm hearing, I don't have the actual statistics, but we have over 100,000, just in Hillsborough County alone, we have over 100,000 homeschoolers registered. And that's my county. That's the county that I taught in. That's the county that I grew up in. I'm a Florida, Tampa girl. And Pasco, so Pinellas County is like St. Pete area, but then Pasco County is like north of Hillsborough County, and Pasco County is very conservative. I remember the elections, like it was almost a landslide, conservative. When Tampa, is like neck and neck, because I think Tampa itself is a little bit more liberal because it's city-esque. But it is very neck and neck. But that whole area, Miami-Dade, down in the South, we kind of joke here and say that's like a whole nother state, because it's totally different from the rest of Florida. with the exception of like the Everglades, because the Everglades are right next to Miami-Dade. Now you're going to get the history of Florida. I'm sorry, I don't mean to go on a Florida rant. I love my state. I've been here my whole life. I'm a second generation Floridian. So I have the Florida accent, if anybody wants to know what a Florida accent sounds like. I don't even know if there is an accent, but anyway. Um, yeah, it's like a whole nother Miami-Dade area, like that whole West Palm Beach, Miami, Fort Lauderdale. Like it's a whole nother place. It's very liberal. And so that's the big liberal pocket. Tampa's a liberal pocket. Orlando is a liberal pocket. And then Gainesville, which is where the University of Florida is. And those are, and the rest of the state is all conservative. And it's very country, a lot of just like laid back, conservative farmers and country, and like, that's what it's like. But Tampa is definitely, and that's the area I live in. It's huge. And they have a Tampa Homeschool Convention out in Trinity, which is part, if I'm not mistaken, Trinity is a part of Pasco County. So, oh, Central Florida, Winter Garden. Okay, so you're going to be in that Orlando area. Traffic is bad. Get ready. But yeah, I know. And I used, because even though I'm from Florida, I went to University of Florida, which is up in Gainesville. And then I lived in Orlando when I worked at Disney. So I'm very familiar with that area. And I did have a friend that I used to stay with quite frequently and visit up in Winter Garden. So yeah, I'm familiar with that area, but I lived in Orlando too when I worked there. So, but then I just moved back to my hometown. So I went totally, and you guys are still with me. Like my numbers increased. Like I'm on a Florida ramble, you guys, and you guys are down. But I'm serious. If you guys have any questions, I'm really excited. Oh, tomorrow, if you're in Florida, this is really big news. You need to watch HEF, Home Education Foundation. They do a live stream on Facebook. There's like a really big announcement happening. So that's Brenda Dickinson. She is our lobbyist for homeschoolers in the state of Florida. And she now has a team member, Jason Crawford, who I have known like forever. Like I've taught his children, and he has spent time with my kids, and I'm really good friends with the wife. Like this is crazy. So now he's the lobbyist too, and it is a big drop of an announcement tomorrow. So you need to check out the HEF. And even if you're not in Florida, like I said, keep your ears open, because I believe I believe that it's going to spread. I think people are going to pick it up because Brenda Dickinson is amazing. I could go on, but when she has explained to me why, she's the one that created her and her husband was a lawyer. Her and her husband were the ones that created the homeschool laws in the state of Florida. And the way they created the homeschool laws are really to protect the parent. And a lot of people move down to Florida and they're like, oh no, there's so much. Why do we have to do portfolios and this and that? But what they don't realize is she wrote them to protect the parents. Now, I have some opinions. I see it as a way that, homeschool evaluators, most of us, we are homeschool parents. You want to know about why I was working at Disney? You don't want to hear all that. I was in entertainment. Like, surprise, surprise. No, some people are surprised. Yeah, I did entertainment. Yeah, I almost went to Japan too. It's like not even have to do with homeschool. I did it in college and after college, and then I quit and became a teacher. And my one regret is that I didn't go to Japan for 6 months. They were going to have me be like, I was going to do shows, and then I was going to be like Alice and Cinderella and all of, yeah. So I didn't sign the contract. And that's the one regret I have. But, and I have pictures on my Facebook page if you really want to see it. But, sorry. Okay. So, but Brenda, I was talking about the homeschool laws. In my opinion, what I see is that most of the homeschool evaluators are teachers that are former teachers that now homeschool. And we, all of us that are homeschool evaluators, I'm going to say like a good 50, 60, 70% of us, probably 70% of us, we want to protect our homeschoolers, our homeschool families. Like that's because it's not like we're getting like the big bucks doing this. There's a lot of newbies on the scene, and I have teachers reach out to me and say, I need a summer job. I want to be a homeschool evaluator. I'm like, girl, you ain't going to get anybody except like a few people here and there, because nobody, if you had a choice between like a seasoned homeschool mom or like a teacher doing evaluations over the summer, because you get to pick which evaluator you want. So like the parent gets to pick the evaluator. And here's the thing, like if the evaluator doesn't think they're doing a good enough job, then they can just say okay, and not, I would say not pay them. Like I that's right. Like if the like you do all your work, you have your portfolio, you have your stuff together, you show it to the evaluator, and the evaluator is like, it's not good enough, I'm not signing the paperwork. I would be like, as a parent, I would be like, well, then I'm not paying you, because I'm paying for someone to like evaluate. But that's just my opinion. It's awful. Because because the homeschool laws in Florida say that if you have put in the work to help your child gain improvement, and your child is gaining improvement, and you have a portfolio, like you're good. Like it's so done. The parent gets to pick how the portfolio is put together, all these things. So one thing it does is it makes the education department happy, because like, well, we're certifying these teachers and they've been trained and they've gotten all the information, so they know what to look for, and we're going to trust them. And so it makes the home education, or the not the home education, the education department look really like seem really happy. And then the parents are happy because they're having someone who knows, and wants to protect them. And so both parties are happy. And then there's this middleman they're just doing their thing. So everybody's happy. That's how the Florida homeschool laws kind of work. Because the fear is there's like these states, right? And of course things are changing. There's these other states that you don't have to turn anything into the government. Well, and there's no homeschool laws anywhere in there. So all that has to happen is a bill has to, and you guys may not have a lobbyist. There are some states that don't have homeschool lobbyists, right? And you're sitting back as a parent going, we're so free, we have this freedom. We don't have to turn anything in. Florida, I can't believe you guys. And I've heard that many times of how ridiculous the laws are in Florida. And I keep saying they're there to protect you as a parent and family. And but you're in these other states where you don't have to get any evaluation done. You just sign a paper, turn it in, say you're still homeschooling. One day it could happen that somebody puts a bill out there, sends it to a committee, and the next thing you know, your right to homeschool is going to be the laws. There's going to be laws in place that may not protect you anymore. Like, it's so much easier to write in laws that don't exist than go back and change laws that already exist. I don't know if that makes any sense. It's just, and the way this is all my opinion. This is not from Brenda. I mean, she's told me how the laws are set up. But when I look and examine how the laws are set up, this is my opinion. I think it's just ingenious is what it is. And then this whole PEP scholarship that's happened, that's been huge debate in Florida. However, once again, I think Brenda has set it up in such an ingenious way that it is protecting the homeschool laws. And there's so many complaints about it, but they are. And that's why I'm like, you guys, homeschoolers, need to look at Florida and see what's happening. Not only are we the largest growing homeschool community in the nation, but we have laws in place there to protect us. And then we've got this scholarship thing that's happening. It was tried once in Arizona and it failed. But now the way that they're handling it now, and Brenda's one of the ones that wrote up the laws, the way that it's done, you gotta see all the things. So this has nothing to do with being influenced. So I've got someone from Ohio. Do I know Ohio? I feel like I know some of those homeschool laws. I hear like here and there different laws and stuff. But anyway, So keep writing questions. And I'm trying to think if there was anything else I was going to say about being influenced. I said pray. I said take your time going through it, do the research, get to know the writers of the curriculum, see if they click with you. Is it the same style that you think your child learns? Oh, you know what? I skipped a question. Let me finish this line of thought. You know, talk to other homeschool parents, seasoned homeschool parents that don't have a buy-in into curriculum. I mean, and I'll be honest with myself, like I do have a buy-in with IAW. However, I liked them first. So I was hardcore in love with IAW. And then because I showed that I was hardcore in love with IAW, they came to me. And that's how things kind of happened. And I have a child trying to get into the door, by the way, if you hear clicking in the background. And they need to stay out. Hopefully, I hear another kid trying to get them. Wait, I think it's Naomi got out of bed. But she'll get her back in bed. She's really good at that. We just had our portfolio removed. We moved from the. Okay. So. Okay. Oh, Ohio. We just had our portfolio removed. We moved from that plus curriculum list to just a notification form. Okay. Okay. I heard Illinois is really easy too with their homeschooling laws. Like that one, you don't have to turn anything in. That's what I've heard. By the way, I'm not trying to be political. Like this is politics that I'm kind of talking with homeschool laws. And I don't even know well, yeah, no, I can say this. I'm just trying to think like what I can say and what I can't say. All the stuff that's going on in Florida with the homeschool laws with Brenda Dickinson, Ron DeSantis has backed 100% of it. With how Brenda is putting it into place. So I just wanted to say that because he in Florida has our back. And that's another reason why I think it's important to watch what's happening with Florida, because I know he's not like running for president anymore. I know that he dropped out, but it could happen in the future that I'm sure he's going to run again. And I know there's a lot of conservatives that really, really like him. So to put that out there, and this is coming from one of the lobbyists that said, oh yeah, Ron DeSantis has our back. We met with him. Like there's a bill. I can't really talk about it because I don't think I'm 100% informed with it, but it's a really, it would really hurt the homeschoolers. And he's with the homeschoolers on it as they try to deal with this. I don't want to go into detail because, like I said, I don't really know that much, but I do know that Ron DeSantis has the homeschooler back in Florida, and I throw that out there. Okay, so I don't know. So I guess they had their portfolio removed. I'd be curious to see why it was removed, and then that kind of stuff. File a notice of intent. Yeah. That's a lot of states too. I know, and you missed it, Kimberly, because I was talking about why sometimes that scares me. Because if you just file a notice of intent, do you have homeschool laws actually in place that will protect you if somebody steps in? I don't know. That's just me being conspiracy theorist. But it could happen. Like, this is not from anybody. This is just from my brain. I don't ever talk about this with anybody, actually. And here I am just like, psh. But I know, does it actually protect you in the case that somebody, like a group of people, want to propose a bill and say, okay, we're going to change the homeschool laws to be more in favor of us, of education, right? That's what I'm saying. Florida laws are protecting that. They're making both parties happy. They're making the education department happy because they're the ones that are giving the teachers certifications. And they're like, we train the teachers, so they got to be on our side, which isn't true because a lot of us are like, no, we're homeschool moms that held on to our certification. But then it also makes the homeschool families, because they know that us teachers that are doing the evaluation are 100% on their side. And then the parents get to make the choice as into who is who's their evaluator. And and I always say, like I said, I always tell parents, like, okay, so with the portfolio in Florida, like, do not give them your name, do not give them your address before the portfolio evaluation. You give them that information once you know that the teacher is going, or the certified teacher is going to approve you and do all the paperwork for you. Because you may get someone who's like, I don't know. If you don't want them to go back and turn you in as someone who didn't satisfy. But even if they did that, like, even if their paperwork went in saying that you weren't satisfied, like you didn't find that they were satisfied, all the parent has to do is go find another teacher. And if that teacher approves it, they're fine. Like, it's just, the only thing it does is take time. That's all. Okay. So I'm talking way too much about Florida. Okay. So Arkansas here, true for now. Anyway. Yeah, that's Illinois. Illinois doesn't have to do anything. Ontario, Canada. I don't even have to register my children or notify as long as we haven't ever put our children. Wow. I don't know anything about Canadian laws. I know a little bit about your politics because I have a friend up in Canada that fills me in with some details. So I couldn't speak into that. But that's interesting. Okay, so we're in WV and have the option of portfolios. Okay, yeah, that's kind of what we have in Florida too, where it's option of portfolios or standardized test. DeVille. I don't know what that means. I think she was trying to write something else, so I don't really know what she means. Okay, so then we have, sorry, I have to scroll. Thus, the why we are moving to a well-governed state. There you go, Emily. Yeah. You're going to love it, Emily. Like, you're going to love our lobbyist. She's amazing. And our new lobbyist, Jason, who's working alongside her. Jason, what's interesting about Jason, I know him personally. Okay. So I can give you all, oh, he would kill me. No, he wouldn't. Cause I'm only going to say nice things about you, Jason, if you watch. I don't think he's watching, but we love Jason so much. We love his wife, Crystal, so much. Jason was homeschooled. He was homeschooled himself, and he now homeschools his 4 children. And I know his children personally. He has 2 girls, 2 boys. They are so very sweet. And they're just wonderful kids. So that's who you have up in Tallahassee protecting you. And of all people, he does not care about money. He does. He needs to feed his family. But he's not like one to go crazy. Like, for the longest time, he lived in like this small, tiny townhome because, it's to him, he's not like going to spend all the money, and it's not about money for him. This is about protecting the homeschool laws, and this is about protecting everyone. And it's awesome. I also know some people on the board too. I love being in the loop. It gets really exciting. And I'll get really excited about it. But like I said, I can't go into too much detail, especially when I'm on live, because there's a lot of stuff I don't know still, but I know that we need to support them. I'm getting on a tangent. Sorry, there was a question that I skipped way back here. It was favorite special needs curriculum. I know you have a few videos on your channel, totally switching gears, guys. I'm so sorry. Favorite special needs curriculum. And I know you have a few videos on your channel, but just asking if you had to choose your top favorite. Oh, all about spelling, all about reading, like hands down is probably so their Orton Gillian method. So those students that have like dyslexia, that's for them. But it is so good for just any kid. So that one, that is my hands down. More all about spelling. And I think anybody who is familiar with any of the curriculum out there, like, they know that's the go-to. So I hope that answered your question. Let's see. Okay. Georgia is file intent and test every 3 years. Okay. We have to keep a progress report, but not turn it into anyone. Okay. I think I've heard that too. That's kind of, so another, Florida we have to keep a portfolio. But if we test, we still have to keep the portfolio, but we don't have to show anybody. But that makes sense. Cool. We totally got off topic. Like, we were so supposed to talk about how to be influenced, and my poor friend, like, she wasn't able to make it. I feel really bad. It was me that dropped the ball. guys. It was 100% me. She told me in advance, and I didn't cancel it out because I got too busy with my kids. Um, and then I was like, oh, well, I'm just going to go live anyway. Um, but going back to avoid being influenced, I guess for me, the unless you guys have any questions about it, I guess my with being influenced, my closing on that topic would be, of course, all those things that I listed before: the pray, talk to people, all of that. But remember that the homeschool curriculum is a business, and people see that more and more people are homeschooling because our public schools and even private schools, believe it or not, are failing us on so many different levels, and parents want to take their child's education into their own hands. But they want to find a way to make it easy for the parent, and it has become a business, and people are buying into it. And if we can see it as a business, and everybody says their curriculum is the best, and just because you see advertisements for one specific curriculum out there, their marketing department's great. That's what that means. Just remember that, because sometimes that one person who wrote that one curriculum out there that is humble, that has a very strong, like, you just jive with them and it works. That might be the one for you. Maybe they're not well known. I did just meet I had an interview. I don't know. I don't really talk about this. Well, I'm like, my hands are in all different things because I like to network. That's like, I love it. I love to network, talk to people. And so I love science. Like, that's my favorite subject. Like, if I went back to public school, I would teach science. Maybe not, because I don't know if I could do evolution, but I'd probably teach history. I think, if I don't know what I would teach, I wouldn't go back to teaching school. It's horrible. But I just had an interview. Someone asked me to do it as a favor, and he wrote a curriculum. It's a high school curriculum, but he said middle schoolers can do it, and it's called The Grand Experiment. And it is Masterbook sells the first 2 volumes, but he actually wrote 2 more volumes for it. And when I met with this author, I mean, I was like, okay, 30 minutes. We talked for like an hour. And because I was like, whoa, that's really cool. Like, in my head, it was just so neat how he put it together. And the fact that what it's doing, it is preparing a child or a teenager who's going to go into college in the science, and giving them a firm foundation in why evolution is wrong, and why creation is correct, why there has to be a creator, and ways that they can defend their faith. So it's almost like very apologetic, defending their faith kind of thing, to prepare them to come up against these professors. Because there's a lot of stuff. I like to follow these things. There's a lot of stuff going on in the science world, thanks to the James Webb Telescope, which, if you've been following all of that, and I mean, a lot of people know, like, like some of the ape men skeletons in museums are frauds, like that kind of stuff. Oh, I'm going to say that what she just said in the comments. But there is a lot, like the billions of years theory and the Big Bang theory pretty much has, like, the James Webb Telescope. And this is so recent, guys, that has been thrown out the window. Like, these doctors and PhDs, like, I'm serious, you have to go digging for it a little bit. But the James Webb Telescope, because of the redshift, they're like, nope, it's not going to work. And they are scurrying to look for a new model right now. And it's really interesting to follow. So I'm just throwing that out there, that you have to see that interview, and I'm going to probably put it out in March. But it's called The Grand Experiment. You can find it on Masterbooks too. But he has his own website. His name is Dr. Carl Warner, and he was a physician, and his degree is in biology. I don't know. I don't know if it's undergrad, but I know he was a physician, like an MD. So anyway, so going back to the comments, I know one caffeinated mom, she said supply and demand, and that's so true. And I love that she said that, because there is a supply and demand. And like the homeschoolers that are homeschooling now, what is it that they want? right? Most of them are wanting to find things that are online and easy and at their fingertips that they can go, okay, and put their kid in front of the camera. Now, is that those of us that have chosen to homeschool, do we really want that for our kids, or do we want to build that family structure? And we have to really like having your kids sit in front of the computer all day doing schoolwork is not building a family dynamic. Like reading to your kids, doing like different curriculum and studies together as kids. Like you want to build that family dynamic, not just sit your kid in front of unless they're going to get their work done like really, really fast. But then again, you don't even know what they're being taught. So there is a demand for easy homeschooling, and being online is a big one. So there's going to be a push for that. And it just, what is the demand? What is the demand from the people that are see, and it's almost like, okay, you're going to get me on a tangent. What is the demand? Okay. But then there are a lot of people that are still afraid of the standards, like the benchmarks. You've got to meet those benchmarks. It's almost like those benchmarks, they are legalistic to those benchmarks. Right. And so they think they have to constantly, well, if I get an online program that's going to meet these benchmarks, I'm good to go. Instead of homeschooling the way that they're convicted to homeschool, or the way that they envision homeschooling, because it doesn't have to look like those benchmarks. And yes, there's curriculum out there that are feeding to those benchmarks. That's because a lot of parents are looking for that. And that's because that seems to be what people want, but it doesn't mean it's the best for you. So it's good if you want to go against that grain. Okay, I will link that book. I got to go back. But it's Dr. Carl Warner. I'll have to link it. I can't do it right now because I don't know how to use. Can I type it in? Ooh, I can. I can type a message. I'll write his name out. There's a C. Carlwer. Okay, I just wrote his name so you can see it, but I didn't write his the website. I think it's the grandexperiment.com. Let me I don't know if it's Grand Experiment or the grandexperiment.com. But the book is called The Grand Experiment. It's Evolution, The Grand Experiment. Do I know how to spell experiment? It's Evolution. Okay, that's the name of the curriculum. And he was so humble. Oh my gosh, he was so funny because he was like, okay, if you ever know how physicists talk and biologists talk, like these guys, PhD, he was like, I was so stupid. I'm like, no, you weren't. And he made a mistake because on the back of the book, and it was so minor. It was like, I put down that there are several frauds. And then I went back and counted, and there was 123, not several. I can't believe I made that mistake. And I'm like, so he wrote a whole nother extended supplementary pack to explain that there was 123. So it's like a whole DVD series where he went in and started but he went to these biologists and these people in the museum that I don't know who they were. I'll be honest. He said it. But anyway, he went to people in the museums that were like credential type people, smart people. I don't know the name. And he didn't say he was creation or evolution. He stayed neutral, but then interviewed them, and these scientists were like, oh, well, this person is a fraud and this person is a fraud. And they started calling people out as frauds, and he got it all on video. And he's like, that's his big thing that he's pushing right now. So anyway, it's kind of cool. Okay, you guys got me on tangents. But you're still here listening. So, okay. So, how do you homeschool when you have 3 out of 4 with ADHD or some learning disability? Well, I have a child sitting right over here. So, can you go to bed? Sorry, you saw the look on her face. So, I get it because I'm in a very similar situation. Um, I write a schedule. That's and Because, for example, there are certain times of the day that you need to work one-on-one with your child. So if I know that from 9 to 10, I need to work with one of my children on reading because that's their weak area, I know I can have the other kids do something else independent. And then maybe 10 to 11, I work with one of the others and they work independently. And so I rotate through my kids. Now, of course, there are those moments where they're like, Mom, I need this. And so I literally have to make them form a cue line in my head. Like, I'm going to get to you, but go, like, skip that problem and go to the next one. I have had, with my youngest daughter that has Down syndrome, I have had and been okay with some of my kids taking a break from their schooling to sit and play games with her so that she's not stuck in front of a television. So she's engaged with somebody and I can work with one of my other kids on something else while she's being entertained or doing something with one of her siblings. So, yeah, that's kind of how I handle it, just having that schedule. I also try to find a way to keep them very busy, especially with ADHD, just finding ways to keep them busy. Um, and they always, oh, this is one thing I love about kids is I don't know if anybody else has this problem. I have this problem. Okay. If there is something that your kid is gifted and talented at, there is nothing on earth that you can do as a parent to stop them from doing that thing that they love doing and that they're talented at. So, my daughter, who is literally sitting right there, I'm gonna talk about you, okay? She will not stop singing. I cannot stop her from singing. I'm constantly like trying to talk to another kid and I hear singing in the background. I'm like, stop singing, stop singing. But I cannot. And she goes to the piano too. She'll like randomly through the day start playing stuff on that. She plays piano and sings. She's in musical theater and she dances. She will not stop singing. Okay. But that's something that she loves to do and she's good at and it's a gift from the Lord. Okay. And then I've got my other son who I don't need build. He's an engineer at heart. Like I don't even know. Like he likes to take things apart and put them together. Do you know how that drives my husband crazy? Like it drives my husband crazy because my son is in the garage taking things apart and he loses things. And my husband's like, "Where is my fill in the blank?" Okay? And my son is like hiding in the back room because he knows he was messing with it and he just cuz he's a kid lost it. But it's one of those things that I literally cannot keep him away from it at all. Okay. And we have holes in things, like, and we have missing things. And he has been known to, all I have to say in my house is, I think it's broken. I hear, Mom, can I have it? No joke. And then I have another child. Please tell me if this resonates with anybody. I'm very curious because I sometimes think it's just me. And I do have another child that loves Minecraft, but it's not just Minecraft. Like Minecraft just taps into an element of what he's really good at. And his gifting is, I don't even know what kind of career he could have in this. And if you have any insight, please let me know. But it is is that your hand? Okay, she's sitting in here now. It's just fine. You saw her hair. She's trying to hide. She should be asleep at 10 o'clock at night because we have to wake at 6 o'clock in the morning to do track and field. But okay, so this boy, what he does is yes, Minecraft. But when he's in Minecraft, he's building these kids, man, if you ever see what they do in Minecraft, it's like, what on earth just is going on? Like it's a whole nother world, but it's so intricate and so well put together and just like, right? At my congregation, okay, he's helping to remodel the interior of the youth room, okay? And he's the one that if I get lost, which I do quite frequently when I'm driving, like it's kind of a joke. I'm horrible. Like if I had like this, if there's such a thing is dyslexia for directions, this is it. Like I have it because I don't know which way north and south is or east or west. I couldn't even tell you now. I think I could. I'm in my house. The sun rises that way, it's east. So, but he knows where each direction is and he knows where to go. And he's obsessed with maps. And he's been making relief maps. I'm finding them all over the place. And he's drawing maps and just whatever that gifting is, I don't know what it is, but that's something that I can't stop him from doing. So I say that people that have children with ADHD and disabilities and stuff hone into those things that they're really good at. And when you can't get to them right away to help them with their schoolwork, allow them to explore that area a little bit more and feel free to provide those tools that they need to just excel in that area because that's how they're created to be. And God's going to use them in that area for his glory somehow. And I don't even know, like, I know engineering is a gift, but I don't know. I mean, God uses that. I know he can, and he does. And same with, I can't figure out the mapping thing and the interior designing thing, but he's so good at it. He also keeps moving furniture around downstairs we have a playroom area, which is now a gaming room, in which now he wants to be his bedroom because he usually rooms with his brother. I'm telling you so much personal stuff right now. This is what happens on lives. So anyway, if you have any insight, let me know. But back to these comments that are popping up. I don't have Facebook. Oh, they may stream to YouTube as well. I think they take their streams and they'll put them on YouTube. I don't know. It's gonna be everywhere. You're gonna see it on YouTube. I will say, like, it's probably good that you don't have Facebook groups. I'm just gonna be flat out honest with you guys. In those, any of those homeschool special needs, even the PEP groups for Florida, there are some really nasty people. I'll just leave it at that are spreading rumors and gossip about a lot of stuff. So you have to be careful. And it's probably good you don't have Facebook. I always go straight to the source. Don't, like, when it comes to the politics and stuff like that, like, that's what I say, go to HEF. They're the ones, like, go to their website. Actually, I think you can see they're streaming on their actual website. It's HEF, I believe it's HEF.com. Home Education Foundation. It's the acronym HEF because everybody's now using, right, that new thing that they do now. It's not HEF, or it's not Home Education Foundation, it's HEF. Or like those of us that are in Florida with the Step Up for Student Scholarship, it's SUFS. Okay, we're just reading the acronyms now. That's like the new thing, like LOL instead of LOL, right? But here's HEF. I'm just gonna put HEF.com. I can't see my keyboard, my mic's in the way. I think that's the website. Okay. So I think I'm there, got there. Facebook supply and demand. Can you please link that? And then I'll go back and link it. Okay, then Sue. Oh, that's so sweet. Aw. She said you're the best evaluator there is, sweetest. Yay. I try to be sweet. And I hope it's not a front either. I don't think it is because I don't know how to fake it too well. But yay, thank you. Okay, so we got 23 people in the room. You guys are still hanging out with me. If anybody has any questions, let me know. Otherwise, thank you. I've been like an hour. You've been hanging out with me. Those of you that stayed from the beginning to end, like an hour. Thanks for hanging out with me. I had something to do tonight that felt really productive. And let me know, like, I'll be honest, I'm so swamped with emails and I'm trying so hard to get to them, but I'm also trying so hard to make sure I'm putting my family first, right? She's shaking her head. Yes. Right. Do you want to say hi? Come here. Look at that. Did you see that? Do you want to say hi? She's saying maybe, but this is like my channel. So yeah, she's like creeping and she should be in bed. But you want to sing for them? They all think you have a beautiful voice. Sorry, I'm putting her on the spot. But yeah, like I'm trying so hard to put my family first and do stuff with them. Like she can tell you, right? Oh no. Okay, no, she wants to grab her song that she wrote. She's writing songs now. But are you gonna sing it? I don't even know what it says. Okay, I don't know what you're doing. but she knows that I will purposefully not answer questions just so I can spend time with them and be with them, right? How many times do I miss phone calls?
10 gazillion.
Yeah. Well, then again, like now I'm involved with politics. So like everybody like wants me to support their political party or something because I've been doing stuff with politics. Okay, she's going to step in and say hi. She's like, okay, just say hi.
Hi.
Is Naomi asleep?
She's with you.
She's with you. Is she asleep? Okay. I should probably, they're supposed to be in bed. They were in bed at one point. I should probably go check on that. Thank you guys so much for watching. You sure you don't want to say anything? Okay. I'm going to get her here. Be careful. Don't hit my desk. Sorry, that's shaking. But thank you guys so much. Any more questions? I don't see any. If there is, just leave them in the comments. She wants you to sing for her.
What do I sing?
I don't know. You don't have to. You don't want to. I know.
Kind of do.
You kind of do. You want to sing? Everyone says thank you for being on. When you want to sing Little Mermaid, you're wearing a Little Mermaid shirt. I don't want to put you on the spot.
I want to sing.
What's one of the? She's in Shrek Junior, the musical this year. At the, I love her dance studio. If you're in Tampa, there is a dance studio. They are so amazing dancing for a difference. They are in the Tampa Bay area. Actually, they're in Brandon. But their whole mission is to make sure all kids have a chance to dance regardless of what their disability is. And they are so patient with Naomi. It's ridiculous. And the girls that are on team, like the competitive teams, they actually buddy up with the kids that have disabilities and help assist them. So it's almost like they get their eyes off of themselves, you know, because I know the dance world is all about me and look at me and all the things, you know, it's very like vanity based. And I really don't want to see that being instilled in my kids. Like, look how beautiful I am when I point my toe, you know, kind of thing. But at the same time, music and dance and all of that is God created it. So if we could find ways, because she's she's in the youth praise and worship team at our congregation, and she auditioned for it. So God can use these things in many, many ways. Do you want to sing or no?
I kind of do.
She kind of does, but I think she's nervous. So I don't want to pressure you into anything.
I kind of want to pretend like it's just you.
Okay, go.
What do I sing?
Sing Little Mermaid. What was the song you kept singing today?
Songs?
Yeah, you sang like every song in the world. What was one of them? See, they don't want to hear you sing. They're still here. I'm not going to say it. It's just me. It's just me and her, right? I don't remember what you were singing.
I was singing a song from Shrek.
Okay.
And
you sang this song that you wrote.
Yeah, but
oh, that's okay. That's we're not going to sing this song. I'm not going to put that pressure on you
because it's still in progress.
It's a work in progress. Good job.
And then I'm gonna put it on the radio.
You're gonna put it on the radio. She told me today. She said, "Mom, one day you're gonna hear this being sung in churches, right, or congregations."
And I'm gonna be a star.
No, we're not gonna focus on the star stuff, but we're gonna praise the Lord, make him a star, right? Yeah. So, are you gonna sing?
What do I sing?
A whole new world. No.
I was gonna sing, "My God is so great."
Okay, my God is so great. Go for it.
Just a little line.
Just a little line.
Little.
Okay, go. She's taking deep breaths. My
God is so great, so strong and so mighty. There's nothing my God cannot do.
Good job.
My God is so great, so strong and so mighty. There's nothing my God cannot do.
Good job. High five. Now go to bed.
What did you say?
This one said so sweet. Yay, Hannah, good job. All right. Well, on that note, we're gonna say goodbye. She's gonna step in and she's gonna say goodbye with me.
Bye.
See, beautiful, beautiful. See, look at that. They think you're beautiful. Okay, stand up before you pull my plugs out. I got plugs all over here, and she started squatting down by my plugs. I don't want the plugs to fall out. Okay, look at that. See, look at those comments coming in. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for sticking around. You kept me busy for tonight. I felt productive that I was able to help you. And then I was very thankful for you to feed into my daughter, right? And encourage her. So, all right, a little bit of reality. I'm just a mom. Okay, we're going to get everybody in bed. So I love these comments that are coming in. I'm stalling because the comments keep coming in. Okay, well, I'm going to sign out and go get her to bed because we have to wake up at 6 a.m. to do my son's track and field, which will be really fun. So thank you guys. And I have a short coming out tomorrow, and then a day in the life. I did my day in the life. That's coming out Wednesday, and then another short on Friday. I'm almost to the point where I'm going to do shorts every day because they're so easy at this point. So thank you. I love chatting with you, and I love the company. Thank you guys so much. Bye. I say bye.